Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. If you're new, it's absolutely wonderful to have you here. If you're not new, it's just as great to see you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why the heck not? Go right ahead. I'll wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3, there we go. Also, please like. Also, if you feel so inclined, please consider buying me a coffee. I will jump right into this and say, if you want to see what this is all about, then do please keep on watching. Let's hope this goes as I plan. Right, the first thing to say is that among the many channels on YouTube to which I am subscribed, there are a few Canadians. And I'm just going to start this look off using my Loha Izamal palette, which is all yellow. So I'm going to take the deepest, darkest yellow in this palette. Yes, so you might think this is a bit of a random place to start talking, not doing makeup, but talking about Canadians, but it's not random at all, and I will explain why. So there's a few of them that I follow very closely. One is a little dog called Mac, and he's what we call a sausage dog, and what in America they call, I think, a wiener dog or a doxy, but here in the UK we call them sausage dogs, and I am deeply fond of sausage dogs. Another Canadian is Satan's seamstress herself, the divine Madam Absinthe, or Miss E, and I follow her very closely as well, and she is also in Canada. Then there is, and I hope you're following, Wilma Fingerdew.
Oh, Jorge, I am so glad I got my hair did because I love it short and sassy.
She does reviews on all sorts of drag races. She does makeup reviews as well. And we did a little live together at some stage. And if you search for it on social media, you will find it. And that was tremendous fun. And last but not least, cooler than an ice pop in an igloo at the North Pole is Vampryn. Now, Vampryn I have just always admired from afar because she just is so cool, basically, and I love what she does in terms of makeup because it's always really different. I mean, really different. So she did this look the other day, and I will insert a picture somewhere so you can see it, and I just thought, I've got to give that a go. I'm just reaching over now to my Mitchell palette from Beauty Bay to use the shade Manchester just to start blending out this dark yellow. Anyway, so I said to her, I'm going to have a go at that, and she was all for it, which was great. And so this is me doing it. And the great thing about this is you really don't need that many colours to have a stab at it. On hers, her eyelids are very white, so I might change that. It depends as we go along. We'll see, won't we? And I also, let's just make sure I've got my reference picture here. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the history of the colour yellow, because you know me, I talk about history and interesting stuff on this channel. When you come to have a look at me doing makeup, you get a sort of little history lesson at the same time. So if that's not for you, then never mind. Anywho, yellow. You might think, well, it's just a colour. It's not just a colour, it's got quite a long history, and there's different places where artists and human beings, you know, way back 17,000 years ago, when we have first discovered the use of yellow, they get it from all different places. Those 17,000 years ago places was from yellow ochre, which is a rock, a mineral, and you grind it down and you make colour out of it. I'm now going to try my Sample Beauty pigment. It's yellow and it's in the shade, watch me turn it upside down and drop it. It's in the shade Bel Air, and it's the most beautiful yellow ever. I'm going to try and have a go with this as well. Anyway, so there's, yes, yellow ochre, and that was used for doing cave paintings and the like. Then there we go, look at, oh my word, look at that. Then we have sulphur yellow, sulphur the mineral that you find in hot springs and places like that. Not quite so much used for art and painting, but somewhere where you would see yellow. There's also a rather less pleasant type of yellow used for paintings in the past called Indian yellow, and I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but suffice to say it involves the excretion of cows, and it was banned because the way they made it was not conducive to long life for the cows, shall we just say. But if you want to find out more about that, you can Google it. And then much later on, 1770 in fact, the pigment colour yellow was invented by a Swedish scientist. So hurrah for all the Swedes watching. Your country is responsible for the invention of the pigment yellow, so that's pretty good. And yes, so painting, pigment, yellow is in fact one of the easiest well, in fact it is the easiest colour to see in daylight, and that's why it's used for emergency vehicles, school buses in America, that sort of thing, because it is so very easy to see, and it's very bright, isn't it? I'm just going to put a little bit across here, as I am wont to do. What Vampryn has done on hers, she's done a little bit coming out here, so I might have a go at that. Which yellow shall I might go back in here with this dark Lohar one, but use it on a bit of a flatter brush and see where we go, because hers just comes out from about, I think it's about there. So let's have a go. Anyway, yellow in culture, oh yeah, look at that. Yellow in culture, and therefore reflected in art, is very interesting history. If you look back to the Egyptians, they had yellow in their paintings for gods, because the gods' bones were believed to be made of gold, and gold is yellow and yellow is gold. And of course, because the royalty and the rulers and the pharaohs were descended from the gods, theoretically, their colour was yellow also. So that's why you'll see in Egyptian hieroglyphics and paintings and things that the royalty are portrayed as having a yellow tint to them, and this carried on. I'm just going to try a different one of these Mitchell colours called Mixer. It carries on into Christianity, and the Pope is seen as wearing gold a lot, not so much yellow as gold, because for reasons which seem to be a bit sort of what came first, in art, Judas Iscariot is often portrayed as wearing yellow. So yellow is the colour of betrayal, cowardice.
Come out and take it, you dirty yellow-bellied rat, or I'll give it to you through the door.
And heresy. And it seems like it's difficult to try, because I've tried to have a look at this, and it's difficult to see what came first, betrayal and heresy being represented by yellow, or yellow coming to mean betrayal and heresy. So I don't know. And it even goes back as far as the 13th century, when heretics were forced to wear yellow to mark them out. And then it starts getting into the very difficult historical areas of anti-Semitism, where hats and badges were forced upon people, as I say, as far back as the 13th century and onwards. And then obviously we all know what happened in terms of yellow stars being forced onto people and people being made to wear them in the war. So let's not dwell on that too much. But it's interesting how we associate colours and feelings and emotions and meanings. I mean, inherently, nature puts meanings into different colours, like red for danger, like red toadstools, dangerous, don't eat them. Yellow and black wasps are bright, don't go near them. Things like that. But the colour yellow actually also stimulates nerves and glands and different parts of the body. When you see the colour yellow, say for example this time of year, we're just getting the daffodils out, and if you recall your Wordsworth, he saw golden daffodils in his poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that vales and hills, and all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Not yellow, golden. Now I'm just moving on to my Beauty Bay Pastels palette, and the colour in there, which is called First Light, which really is an incredibly light yellow. And I'm using this just to give me a bit of, get my reference picture back up again, just a bit of blending out here. Yeah, so golden daffodils. We always think, oh, yellow daffodils, but no, they are in fact a type of gold. What we want to do is, let's just get some different colours over here. No, we don't want that, don't want that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make it a little bit more me by just putting the tiniest bit of gold from the Mitchell palette, and I say the tiniest bit, just the tiniest bit there. I have actually put it in my eye, but don't do that if you're following along at home. Just a tiny bit there, just to give the merest hint. We will give a little other hint later on when we come to doing the lashes, but there's that. Let me just check the general gist of it. Yep, that's good. I need to boof it up a bit here. Let's get that going. This is a great thing about having no eyebrows, is that you really can, if you feel this colour in the crease isn't really doing much, just boof it out as high as you like. Right, so I'm now going on to the difficult and ridiculously difficult part of the look, and I'm going to be doing it sort of the opposite side to how Vampryn has done it, because I'm working from her reference picture and I'm not going to try and swap it over to the other side because that would be way too difficult. So she has got a little, oh well, I can utilise the old wrinkly bits for this. She's got a little square there. Oh, good grief. I knew this was going to be hard. I purposely didn't practice because I'm some sort of idiot, clearly. But I thought it might be fun for us to do it together. So there we are. We've got a tiny square there. Then a line. Luckily, I have another wrinkle there. And then a sort of triangular. I'm just going to try using this collection fast stroke and see if this works any better, because it seems to have a tinier brush. Yes, this is good. This is very good. And what I'm doing here is I'm holding the brush still and moving my head, so that way you don't have to have as steady a hand. Oh, Gordon Bennett, I've bollocksed it up now, hold on. I don't know why it doesn't want to go across there, but hey ho, there we go. So there's that. Then I'm going to attempt the other side, and I'm using my London Copyright Ultimate Eye Gel, and not the yellow brush. No, where's the other brush I brought over? I distinctly remember bringing a thin brush over, and now what have I done with it? Stand by. I'm just going to go and find my brush. Hold on. Right, brushage, sorted, possibly, and we'll have another go and see how we get on, because it's the lines that really make this look. I mean, it is a lovely gel liner, it's just I don't think I've got the brushes. Obviously I've also got the wrinkles. Yeah, I don't think I've got the right brush for this, which is very annoying, but what can you do? I'll just have to use a felt tip and try and do it that way. Not that much better, but you know. Right, that will stay like that. It is slightly running into my crinkles, into my crinkles and wrinkles and creases, but it will do that. It will do that. And now I'm going to try my Essence liquid ink because I love it, and I'm not going to jinx it by saying it's never failed me. Not that I obviously believe in jinxes, but they do tend to pop up a lot, don't they? Do you find that? Right, so what was I? Oh yes, yellow. And see, the other reason I think yellow would have been associated with not good things is because, of course, you've got your yellow sulphur, and sulphur is always associated with the devil. And I think I talked about this on a different video before, about why that is. And a lot of it comes from where sulphur comes from, of course, which is volcanic regions. And volcanic regions are seen as gateways to hell, of course. That's not a very good line at all. But again, I will be blaming wrinklage. But, right, let's have another go. Could be worse. How they cry. How could it be worse? By going back over it and bollocksing it up that way. Let's just pretend that the original had some thicker lines here. Yeah, let's pretend that. I like this bit. Yeah, don't. I was just about to try and go over that bit, but I'm not going to, because I do not want to make it even worse. Just double checking the reference picture. No, not that end, the other end. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's very rough, isn't it? I wonder how I can... I'm just going to try it one more time just to get this line. So breathe in. This is what we're going to do. There, that's what we're going to do. And Vampryn, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that I've completely and utterly bollocksed up your look. Right, I'm going to go and put a lash on. In fact, 2 lashes, because I've got 2 eyes. And then I will come back and we will debrief on the look. Stand by. So there we are then. I really hope, Vampryn, that I have not offended you too much by my interpretation of your marvellous look. Everybody else, let me know what you think. Do you want me to do more monochromatic looks or fewer? Do you want me to try to not copy but do other homage type of videos? Do let me know. And in the meantime, take care of each other. Look after your pets, stay safe, stay warm or cool depending on where you are in the world, and most of all, stay strange.